Good morning traders and welcome to the daily call today, Tuesday the 31st of January. Before we get started, as always, please understand that any advice in today's session is of a general nature only and that your personal circumstances have not been taken into consideration. Okay, so what has happened overnight? In Europe, the euro slipped against the dollar after the German inflation data came in slightly weaker than expected. This effectively will take some pressure off the European Central Bank to wind down its stimulus program. So it's not necessarily a bad thing for the euro. But look, by the end of the session, the euro more or less recovered its losses after earlier having traded lower also on the concerns of travel bans implemented by the US President Donald Trump. So that's pretty much what's happened overnight. Spanish flash GDP came in as expected. Again, these were not major impacting news and the euro did pretty much finish up where it started. Moving along, in Australia, we had Assistant Government Devel spoke. Pretty much it was a non-event. The Aussie traded fairly evenly yesterday at a fairly tight range, so not really much to report on this front. In the US, again, we had some softer data being released. I mean, lower impacting. Personal spending came in a little bit higher, home sales and price index, everything pretty much on forecast. So the US dollar at the moment is everything pending non-farm payrolls, which will happen later this week. So let's move on, and it's time for our chart of the day. Now, I've actually found us two charts today. So because they were so good, I just thought I'll just share both. But the first one is a newly formed channel. Okay, this is on a 4-hour chart. It's a GBP NZD 4-hour channel. Now, of course, this is only the second touch that we are having on the bottom side. So we're obviously, this is touch number 1 and this is touch number 2. So this would be considered a little bit of an aggressive trade, because should this fail and just continue to go down, well then effectively we don't have a channel at all. So some people like to take this as the first trade. If you do, it is set up. You can see that we have a very nice inside candle there. So we're just waiting for a break of that candle, and then we will attempt to trade back up to the other side. It's a nice stop distance, so it's in terms of risk reward, it's a very, very good looking trade. The only drawback on it is that it's only the second touch, so it would be considered the more aggressive entry into the channel. Okay, as until this pulls up a little bit, effectively the channel is not completely locked in. Okay, so that's the first one. That's a GBP New Zealand dollar 4-hour trade. The next one that we have for you, this is the one that we spoke about yesterday in our full market analysis, the weekly analysis. This is the Aussie US dollar. And we can see that by our definition, our moving averages have crossed over. So technically from this point onwards where I'm marking, you know, by our definition, we are in an uptrend, and you can see that the market is come down. Now it's pulling back. It's given us a very nice inside candle setup there, which I've highlighted. So if it was to play out correctly, you know, and this was to happen, well then definitely that's what we're looking to aim at. So this is a trend trade on Aussie US dollar and in an upward trend. So you can place your pending orders at the break of this candle over here. Well then you are ready to rock and roll, as they say. So there you have it. That's our second one, and that's the charts, or the two charts of the day today. The Aussie US dollar trend daily chart. Okay, so what's happening in the session that's about to start? Now we have a lot of data today. Okay, so one of the most important one is Japanese yen, policy statements, reports and outlook. Okay, so this can be a very high volatile market moving event, so make sure that you are aware of this. Unfortunately, they don't tell us when they're going to, the time, but traditionally it happens around about 11 o'clock Japan time, so that'll be around about what's that, 2 p.m. Sydney time. Okay, so just be wary if you're trading yen today. Also later at 5:30, it's the actual press conference from the Bank of Japan. At 7 p.m. we have Mr. Draghi speaking for the ECB, so let's see what he says, which may affect the euro. After midnight we have the CAD GDP numbers. Okay, so any CAD traders. At 2 a.m. we have consumer confidence from the US. 8:45 tomorrow morning, which will be before I do the daily call, we'll have a New Zealand employment change and employment rate. This is big for New Zealand, so that's tomorrow morning. And also the last one, tomorrow morning, 9:35, before I do the next daily call, we have in Canada, the Governor Pollott's speaking. Okay, so there you have it. As always, please feel free to contact us if you have any questions. Follow me on Twitter at ChatFX for trade setups and breaking news. And most importantly, hope you all have a fantastic trading day, and I'll see you tomorrow for tomorrow's daily call. Bye for now.